What's up, everybody? Welcome to Japan at Broadbean Raceway. We're going to be running 25 laps in the Mazda Roadster touring cars, 205 horsepower vehicles. We've got 6 drivers to show up today. We had 1 DNF due to internet issues, but it was a pretty interesting race nonetheless. We weren't super spread out. There was some spacing in between the drivers, but it was a very quick pace race. It's only 13 minutes of full-on racing, but let's go ahead and get on into it. Starting lineup is going to be Sim, NX, Boza, Nazo, Mindlex, and me. I will start in dead last. Mindlex jumps to start. Their 5 lights go out right after he jumps it, and Sim will lead the field off into turn 1. 25 laps of Broadbean Raceway in the Mazda Miatas. And Sim leads it off into the first corner. I make a move on the outside around Nazo, and I am up into the P3 position. Mindlex jumped to start there, so I automatically got a position off of him. Going around the second corner now into the third, and coming up to the fourth now. The long left-hander here. We got a little bit of a battle between me and NX. Oh, maybe not me and Boza. Boza's all over the road though. Mindlex is trying to catch back up to the field. What a flyby in these cars. I'm going to look for the inside of Boza. I have a little bit of speed gained on him here. It's a little bit of a draft battle though. NX is going to defend that bottom line. Boza's going to go wide. I'm going to go under Boza, and I'm going to see if I can take the position. I go up into P3. Boza goes wide. Gets into me just a little bit there. Heading into the final corner for the second time now. Boza's dropped down into P4. I've got the P3 position now. Nazo's in P5. Coming across the front straightaway now, starting the third lap. Sim has set a 1:31.555 as his fastest lap. NX is trying to catch back up to Sim. Sim's got the lead though. Pretty comfortable lead too. Quite a ways ahead of NX. Runs a little bit wide on that corner. But coming into the final corner again, all the cars are following one after another. Mindless is still in P6, trying to catch back up to the field here. Nazo's looking for an overtake on Boza. Boza is actually looking for the inside line on me. Boza goes under. I'm going to stay wide. Boza spins a little bit, gets into Nazo, and they will drop back just a little bit. Nazo flashes his lights at him. Mindlex looks for the inside line on Boza. Boza's trying to defend it. With a little bit of lag, Mindlex moves up to the P5. Nazo's going to re-overtake Mindlex into the fourth corner. Going into the fifth now. Or sorry, the fourth. We only have 4 corners. My bad. Mindlex looking for an overtake again. He's got the run. Will he look for the inside line on Nazo into this next corner? I don't think he will. Oh, maybe he will. He shoots up into the P5 position, overtakes Nazo. Gets into the wall a little bit of battle going on between the P5 and 6 drivers. Nazo is still... Oh, Nazo retakes Mindlex here. Mindlex is going to look back into that slipstream, trying to get an overtake on him again. Goes a little bit wide on that corner, and Nazo's going to have a little bit of a run on him. Sim and NX. NX coming up behind Sim now, starting lap 6. Sim's going to look for the inside line and try to defend it. NX is a little bit wide. I'm going to drift into the corner. There is a big gap between 3 and 4. NX is now catching right up to Sim. He's on his tail. Going into the fourth corner. NX pushes Sim wide, and Sim gets a little loose there. That's going to be a penalty. NX is in P1 now. Sim has dropped down to P2 significantly as he loses quite a bit of time after spinning, or losing control. I'm going to be trying to follow up and catch Sim here. Boza is going to be in P4. Nazo's looking for that P4 position. Nazo's going to try to overtake him. Mindlex in P6. Nazo not quite having the speed to catch... Oh, he might have him right here. Catching up to Boza just enough right here. You might get him on this last corner. Going around to the front straightaway. Nazo staying on the outside as Boza defends the inside. And we got a battle still. Sim catching up to NX. And I am still in P3, just trying to track down the 2 leaders here. NX has got the run. Sim is still trying to catch up to NX. He's in a slipstream. Sim almost setting the fastest lap there at 31.465. That will be his fastest lap of the race so far. And that's still quite a ways ahead of Sim, and a pretty big space in between me and Sim as well. And then Boza and Nazo are going to battle out. Once we hit the front straightaway here and cross the start finish line. Okay, I'm going to go mute here just for the next 2 laps so you guys can hear the vehicles, and we're just going to go full throttle from now. So I'm still in P3 on lap 13. Sim and NX are... Sim just lost a little bit of control there. Still in P2 though, he's still going to have the speed on me. And the distance, I won't be able to catch up to him probably. We were missing somebody. Voza lagged out of the race and DNF'd. Nazo and mine looks pretty spaced out too. There's not really any battles going on right now other than just everybody driving by themselves. Mindlix has a student driver patch on the back of his car. I didn't even notice that until just now. Nazo is in P4, still trying to look to gain some time on me in P3. Sim and NX are... Oh, I'm catching up to Sim a little bit here. I'm right there, but I'm not close enough to do anything. Starting lap 15, we've got 10 to go now as the race winds down. Going into the second corner and the third. I'm on the skirt, just a little bit of that track. And I'm getting really close to that barrier. I'm really hoping I don't hit that. I got scared every single time I went past that barrier when we were racing. Still don't have quite enough time to catch up to Sim here. And I don't seem to be gaining any. I had a pretty good corner there. I might have gained a little bit of time there. But Sim has still got a good gap on me. I believe it's a 1 to 2 second gap. Going into the long left-hander again to start lap 17 out of 25. And the field has not changed for the last 8 laps, I believe. Going into the first corner, I'm looking for any sort of time gain on Sim. I think Sim tapped the wall a little bit. I'm gaining time, but he is way faster than me through these last couple of corners. Getting real close to the barrier there, almost hitting it. Sim has still got a good gap on me. NX is in P1 still as I try to gain time on Sim, and Sim's trying to gain on NX. Sim has had a pretty good race, other than being spun out of the lead at the very beginning of the race, or tapped out of the lead. NX has the fastest lap, a 0:31.343. Sim has a 31.391. Only about 5 seconds, or 5/100ths of a second slower. The braking zone right here is really sketchy. I don't like having to brake so late, but it's the only way you can get the proper speed through that corner. You have to be pitch perfect through that corner, or else you hit the wall or you undercut the track. I'm sorry, I was looking at my phone for a second. Still in P3. It's been pretty boring. It's been kind of just steady driving the entire race. Not really much to note. The very beginning of the race was the most action-packed until we got up to lap 10, and then everybody kind of spread out from each other. Mine likes in P5. He's had a pretty decent season. He's been really consistent in showing up, so he's, I think, in the top 6 or 7 on the leaderboard for this points series. He's been very consistent in showing up and getting those points for his team. Well, he just got signed to LSU, I think, so I can't really say for his team. But he's been a regular in this series. Stay tuned for February 10th, I believe. I've got to look at it again. Our Cash Cup for 2025 will be kicking off next February. I've got to figure out exactly what day it starts. I think I found it. Hold on. Where is it at? There it is. So our next season, which is going to be the Warrior Motorsports Cash Cup, will kick off on February 9th at 2:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be at round 1. Round 1 is going to be at Interlagos in Brazil in the Red Bull 2014 Junior cars. Not as quick as the actual Red Bull cars, but probably as quick as GT3s. A little bit more grip. And from what I've seen, it's going to be a pretty action-packed season. A lot of drivers are close in skill with those cars, so it could be very action-packed during the races. Hopefully we get more people per race, but we'll see how that goes down next season. And depending on that, I think it should be very good. The point system has been revamped, and our championship is going to be at Red Bull Ring. Prizes are the Constructors Championship. The Constructors Championship is going to be $350 prize, and the Championship is going to be $200. So if one individual wins the season, he'll get $200, and then if his team wins, they'll get an additional $350. So it's going to be a pretty big prize, a $550 payout for the entire prize system. But starting our final lap now. Actually, NX is coming around for the final time this race to the front straightaway, and he will finish the race in P1. He's going to have to serve a penalty, so he'll get demoted to P2. Sim finishing in P1 is what we're going to say. NX got demoted to P2. I finished P3. Nazo is going to come around the final corner in P4. Mindlex will finish the race in P5 as he comes around the final corner for the last time, and he will finish off his race in P5. Voza will get P6 after DNFing. I said NX will be demoted to P2. Simmet will be going back to P1 after being moved out of the way, basically, and dive bombed into the last corner. Here is your point standing for the season. I'll show it up on the screen now. Those are your leaders for the season, and they will be moving on to the championship, where it'll be another 25 laps of Monza in the Roadsters to finish off the Mazda series for the Warrior Motorsports League. Stay tuned for February 9th. We will be starting our Warrior Motorsports Cash Cup at 2 o'clock Central, and I will see you guys in the next one.